Hi Flosstube friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren, also known as Cross Stitch Bunny here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. A big thank you to everyone that spent the time watching my very super long Flosstube 1 year anniversary episode, which was my stash dive part 1. It was quite long enough without finishing the rest of my stash, but there were two big boxes that we didn't look through. So there was the big black box on the floor, and then there was the black metal chest over the other side of the room. I am not going to go through both today because I am on limited time, limited camera battery, and I've not got a spare battery because I've not been organised enough to have one ready charged. So I thought I would just do the big black box, which is next to me, just out of view at the moment. I am going to go off camera, and I thought the easiest way for me to do it, because that box is such a mess, the easiest way for me to do it is going to be to just quickly switch the camera off. I'm going to basically not tip it out, but just empty the whole box out onto the floor, and then I can go through it with you as I'm putting it back in. I thought that was the best way for me to do it, so I'm going to cut for a minute, but before I do that, I will attempt to do a really wobbly quick preview of showing you what's in the box. If I grab the camera, so if I just take the lid off, whoop, I'll give you an idea of exactly what we are dealing with. So this is the box that we are going to unpack together today. It is a pretty big, large box. Plenty of stuff in it, and I've kind of got to the point of just throwing stuff in this. Like when my grey drawers just there behind the chair got full. Oh, that's my phone, 1 minute. I'm back in the room, sorry about that. It is my little girl's first day at school today, so I immediately ran over just in case there was a problem, but there was no problem, it was just Adam. So anyway, back to where we were. This is my massive box, and what has basically happened is, you know, I'm kind of semi-organised here at the back, and then as the stash has grown, I commandeered this box that at one point was toy storage for like the kids' toys, but I've taken it, but I've just started throwing things in it as I get them, planning to organise it a bit better in the future, and this is the result. So yes, I will see you in a minute with it all emptied, and we will repack it bit by bit. Right guys, the box is emptied. It's absolute chaos on the floor around me right now, but having said that, I don't think this part 2 is going to be as long as I expected, which is great because yeah, although this is like a really big box, a lot of what was in the bottom of here when I've unpacked it is a lot of books, so they won't take very long to show you, and they're quite bulky because a lot of them are like old hardback cross-stitch books. So we will fly through the books first, and then there is a little bit of everything else shoved in here. But if we start with the books, I will grab a few at a time from my pile. I'm not going to go through these or do any flip throughs. I'm literally going to show you the books, but if there are any books that anyone is particularly interested in seeing in more detail, then you can always drop me a comment below, and I will do that at some point in the future, if there's any particular books that you're interested in seeing in more depth. So we have Making Your Own Cross-Stitch Gifts by Sheila Coulson. So yeah, I think this is a pretty old one. I cannot say I've stitched anything from this. There does look to be some nice patterns. I've got Picture It in Cross Stitch by Jo Verso. Yeah, I mean, maybe I should give you a quick idea of some of the stuff. Oh, something's just fallen out of that one. What is that? Oh, just some random graph paper. I probably should give you a little idea of what is in some of them. So this one is a lot of like wordy things, names, initial monograms, things like that. There's quite a lot of texts in it, and like some old school like garden designs, things like that. We have Cross Stitch Cards and Keepsakes, again by Jo Verso, a nice hardback book. And this has got lots of cards and gift ideas in. This was originally owned by a Sally White. Yeah, there's quite a few like American patterns in here because it is an American published book. things for babies, things for celebrating. Most of them are patterns like without photographs, so I can't really show you too much, but there's a nice advent calendar in there. So that is that one. Then I've got Leslie Tears Fantasy Cross Stitch 60 Spellbinding Designs. And this has got like dragons and a wizard, unicorns, fairies, I think, that kind of thing. Mermaids obviously from the front cover. I'll see if they've got actual photos. Yeah, they have. So there's like a pretty zodiac lady. Let's have a look. That's the mermaid from the cover design. But yeah, lots of fantasy designs in that one. Like I said, I wasn't planning on showing you anything from inside the box, but the covers just don't always give you a good idea. So I'm still trying to fly through these. And like I said, if you do want to see anything in more detail, I can do that another time. But I've got here 120 celebration cross stitch cards. Quite nice. You can see there's a lot of designs on there from the front. I'll just flip open to this random page. So lots of smalls in this. Yeah, there'll be plenty more in there than what I've shown you because there's 120 designs. That is by Gillian Suter. We've got the Bumper Cross Stitch Collection by Sue Cook, and this is a year-round collection of inspired cross-stitch designs to appeal to stitchers of all abilities. Let's have a quick look. There's like quite a lot of like traditional kind of more nursery style stitching in here for the little ones. And they're all kind of catalogued by month in here. So that was suggested for January. And this is the piece that is suggested for May. So yeah, some interesting things in there, not necessarily my current style, so I don't think that I will stitch anything out of that one, but sometimes I just like looking through cross stitch books for inspiration. And my other half Adam, like if he ever nips into a charity shop or anything and he spots any cross stitching stuff like old books or whatever, he just picks them up for me, which is how I've ended up with this many. So this is 2 hour cross stitch, 515 designs in this by Patrice Boans, and this seems to have like a lot of border motifs, and every page has patterns on it, so I can't really show you inside, but lots of border motifs and very small smalls that you can literally do in 2 hours, as the title suggests. We've got Cute and Cuddly Cross Stitch by Gillian Suter again. So there's some nice bits in here for babies and things like that. Fishbowl design. If you can hear a lot of squeaking and stuff going on, I think I am just going to have to cut the camera for a minute and run downstairs to check on our newest little puppies, because there's a lot of squeaking going on. In fact, I'm just going to grab the baby monitor first to have a look at them. Yeah, I'm going to have to go downstairs. The squeaking is happening because Mum, I don't know if you can see that, Mum has folded the bed over them. I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. The puppies are saved and safe. All is well. Oh, I'm a bit out of breath though from running down the stairs, but never mind, we will carry on. We've got Cross Stitch Cards by Sharon Welsh. Just a design of lots of different smalls for cards. Again, just seems to be patterns and not model stitch photos on this, so I will not show you that one. Debbie Minton's Oriental Cross Stitch. 25 designs inspired by the East. And some nice pictures here to show you of like geishas, Chinese dragon. Oh, I do like this one. There's some florals in here, and I'm just trying to find the actual preview pictures rather than the patterns. Can I find one? There's like a nice fang design here. So yeah, lots of pretty things in there. I've got cross stitch designs by Julie Hassler, 150 designs in here. And got any pictures? Oh no, we've not. There's a lot of geometrics in here though, some border designs, some historical designs, traditional samplers, And yeah, just more alphabets and numbers and things like that. 500 flower and animal designs, again by Julie Hassler. I'm not going to open this one because they're just, these kind of books just don't seem to have model stitches. They're all patterns really, other than the covers, but this has got lots of borders, motifs, alphabets. And the same with this one again, which is also 500 designs by Julie Hassler, but just a different version. So again, lots of different borders, alphabets and motifs. Just a couple of books left to go. And then we will get on to the slightly more exciting stuff, because although I do like having these books like as referenced and have a flick through them, they are not the most exciting bit of my stash. But here we've got Cross Stitch Animals by Jana Lindenberg. And you can see there on the back there are some penguins, lots of other animals inside, from monkeys to koalas, birds, domestic and wild animals. We've got chickens, ponies. We've got 500 cross stitch blocks by Anna Davidson, and this is supposed to be like different blocks that can be like fit together, like almost to look like quilt blocks, which is quite clever. So like, yeah, every design is in a block and you can mix and match. Got one here called A Sense of Place, this design, and lots of others, but you can like interchange blocks from between the different charts. Then we've got Country Cross Stitch by Gail Bussey, Susie Johns, Christina Marsh, and this is lots of like simple designs for beginners really, I think, like pretty little things that could be gifts. Show you, so they've got like spring creatures here designed as little gift box things, very sweet. I've got Cats in Cross Stitch by Sally Harmon, and I like cats, but I'm not a huge cat person. I'm a dog person, so I may have to give this one away at some point. I'm not sure exactly how I acquired it. It's got some quite nice ideas. So here it's got like some cross stitch frame ideas that you can then use to frame pictures of your cat. It's got cat Christmas stocking ideas, which is quite fun. Lots and lots of cat things basically, as you might expect. And then the last book I think that I've got to show you is Ultimate Country Cross Stitch. I don't know who this is by because there's no author on the front. There's like 5 or 6 different authors on here. So yeah, Ultimate Country Cross Stitch. Lots of animals, countryside scenes, and I'll show you the back there to give you an idea of some more of the stuff that's inside it. Any pictures that are not charts. So you see it's like a tiger drinks tray design here. Yeah, so that is all the books, I think. I've got a few just random larger bulky items here that I will show you quickly. You will have seen these in my past haul, but this was the Winnie cross stitch set from, I think it was from The Works. I've not stitched any of that yet, so that's still boxed. And the same with these hearts, except I think these are from Aldi, the little door hanging hearts. And I said at the time, I think, that I wanted to do one for one child and one for the other. I've just not got round to it yet. Puppies are squeaking again, but they're fine. I'm sorry if you can hear the squeaking. I just really can't help it. There's always a lot of squeaking or barking going on in this house. It's just how it is. And this is about as quiet as it's going to get for me to do this video because there's no children here. And Adam has gone to the dentist, which is why I just thought I would try and fit this in quickly. So just try and filter out the squeaks. I'm very sorry. Embroidery hoop kit here, and I am not one for embroidering, but I bought this a while ago, again in Aldi, just thinking I might give it a try. But I've not tried it yet. And then the last big bulky box I've got is the Disney Princess collection, which was from The Works, with quite a number of Disney designs in there, obviously, with the princesses. Oh yeah, and there's like, so you can actually sew these little ones, like these little felt ornaments. And then I think the cross-stitching patterns in it, you get the cross-stitching book, but not the supplies, so you have to kit yourself, I believe. I believe that's what it is, and then it comes with the stuff to make these 2 ornaments. So that is those. Then moving on, it's got a bit of a random selection of bits here. So there's another little empty box here, which is just like one of the plastic organiser boxes from Lovecrafts that are the small ones, and they are good for the majority of projects that I do. Like if I want to just put the bobbinated floss or fancy flossers for that particular project all in a small box together, like a small box that will fit inside most of my whip bags. These are a perfect size for that. I don't know if you can see from the back, but they've still got plenty of compartments in. You can easily get like 30, if not more, bobbinated flossers in there, plus you can squeeze in some cryonic or some beads or whatever. Like I've even kitted for some of my smaller Mirabilias just in little boxes that size. Over here I have a huge selection of different frames, but these are not frames that I use to stitch in, although I guess I could, but they're more for finishing. So they're all like the flexi hoop frames with the nice like built-in little hangers on them. There's a pink one there, I don't know if you can see, it's like braided. So yeah, I've got quite a few of these in all different sizes. Mostly round, a couple of square, and I really need to get round to using them to actually finish off some things. But yeah, that is my little finishing bag of frames. I've got an overspill of kits here from kits that no longer fit in the drawer. So I will just whiz you through those quickly. So we've got Heroes by Bothy Threads kit, DMC Classics kit of a couple of otters, quite an old Flower Fairies kit here. I have done a few Flower Fairies in my time, but only the individual ones, and this is a bit of a larger design with the 2 fairies together. This is called the Sweet Pea Fairies, and that is a lovely one. I've got my Fleur de Lis duck cross stitch here, ducked it, and you will recognise some of these kits as being recent haul from my Flosstube videos over like the last 6 or 8 months, because like I said, as I've run out of room in the drawers, any kits that I've bought since I ran out of room have mostly been shoved into this box. I've got my Letty Stitch winter scene here. This is called Christmas Wood. Purchased this from Hobby Jobby, I believe. I think, I could be wrong. But they definitely stock a lot of Letty and Luca S, and my horse kit here is definitely from Hobby Jobby in the UK. It's definitely a Hobby Jobby purchase. I do find them to have the largest range of Luca S kits when I was looking for UK stockists. So yeah, Mother and Foal, I really like that one. Oh, I've got here some Margaret Sherry little horse kits. So we've got Small Talk and Spike in Charge, which you have seen recently. Little Ted that you've seen recently. Like I said, all of these are fairly recent purchases, which is why they're in here. So that's my Dimensions Santa's sidecar stocking, and my cute Carolers stocking. My Luca S Owls on a Branch with their little stockings, very cute. My Luca S Robins on Candy Sticks, which is a pillow kit or cushion kit. They call it a pillow kit. I would call it a cushion, but anyway. Yeah, that one's cute. And then you know that I'm currently stitching on my Bothy Love Autumn Tree, if you are a regular Flosstube viewer on my channel. And I do have all the other 3 seasonal kits. So I do have this one, which is summer. I've got winter here with the little hedgehog and the fox. And what am I on about? There's no hedgehog. I must be blind, there's just 2 foxes. And then I've got the spring tree here. And with these, like, I really like all of them, but I do think it's just like a tiny bit strange to me that obviously in the autumn tree that I'm stitching at the moment, there's like little squirrels, So you've got animals on there. In this one, you have got the foxes in the winter one and some robin birds in the tree. And then in the summer one, you've got the peacock, so one on the ground, one in the tree. And then this one, I know that the entire tree for spring is made out of butterflies. But there's just a lack of any like larger animals. And I just think because it's a series of 4, I don't know, I find that like a little bit odd. I don't know if it's just me. It would have been nice to have, like, instead of just spring flowers down here, maybe some little spring animal, maybe some little chicks or something would have been cute, but never mind. Got my Designworks Dream Catcher here, which will be a very meaningful stitch for me when I start it, because that is the kit that I gave up on back in my teenage years, and I've retracked it down, bought a new one, and I'm going to give it a go and complete it this time. I've got my little polar bear and cardinal stocking, my ornamental reindeer kit, so a lovely reindeer with a snowman there from Dimensions, Historical Sampler Company Noel stitch kit with the cute dotted fabric, Cross Stitcher Magazine Raining Cats and Dogs kit, a really old kit here by Bernat, which is just a little Canada warbler bird apparently. And that is that one. A small little card kit here from Cross Stitching, World of Cross Stitching Magazine, Valerie Pfeiffer Christmas Chickadee. And that is the kit. And my fleur-de-lis dolphins that you've seen very recently. Yeah, so all of those are kits. And then I think this is the last kit. This is a really old full coverage unicorn design that I got off eBay absolutely eons ago, I think. I'm pretty sure I got this before my stitching break. I could be wrong. But yes, like a very purpley themed full coverage, which obviously is all on paper charts. And you know, I definitely think that I do have a preference for doing full coverage on Pattern Keeper, so I'll have to see if I can get those charts onto my tablet to use them that way. This is a kit in this bag for Mirabilia Botanical Garden. So I've got the pattern in there and all the supplies in there, although I may switch out the fabric that is in there, but I've got all the beads, Caron water lilies, which I always absolutely love. The one that's being used in this is called Olive Grove. I don't think there's another, I think it's just that one for that design, and I've got all my beads in there. So yeah, it's a nice one. I really do love this design. Like I said, I was not overwhelmed by that design when I first saw it. Like I wasn't that taken with it, and it wasn't until I saw it stitched. Yeah, like the model stitch didn't do it for me, and then when I saw it in somebody's more detailed photos on Instagram after they'd actually completed it, I loved it. Got a little baggie here of nice hand dyed silk, like over dyed silk flossers from Textile Heritage collection. A couple of them variegated, a couple of them are not. I think these are the same ones that I showed you in my drawers. I had like 4 or 5 different bags of these, and this one's obviously just become estranged from the other bags somehow and ended up in here. Again, like, yeah, I've got like a random bag here just full of 310. So then I have got a bunch of bags like this again in here, and I'm not going to do them individually for you, but all of these floss bags here, see how many I've got. There's quite a few. I'll just count them. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've got 9 bags here, all full of floss, and each one has the name of something written on it. So yeah, these are just like kitted, other than like the fabric, but I'm never short on fabric. So I have plenty in stash, and obviously I can pinch bits from my shop stock if needed. So yeah, when I kit for the majority of patterns, I tend to just kit in terms of threads and beads and stuff, and then I add fabric just before I'm starting to stitch it. So these are just 9 projects that are kitted in terms of thread. And I've got more of the same here, except these ones are a bit more organised. So in order to make them take up less room, I've put like the baggies into a larger bag for several projects and then written a list of the projects on the front. So in this ad, so this is all for my Mirabilias and a Bella Filipina. So just in this particular bag, I have got all the threads for Mirabilia Queen Bee, Mirabilia Day and Night Nymphs, my Nora Corbett Fairy Roses, Mirabilia Bianca Bella, Bella Filipina Amethyst Mermaid, and finally Passion Ricamo in the Deep South, which is a project that I'm really excited to do. Like, if you like stitching mermaids, maybe go and check it out. I will pop a picture up, I'll find a picture and put it up for you. But basically, Passion Ricamo did a sal, and I think it might have been during my stitching break, like quite a while back, maybe in like 2016. For some reason I've got 2016 in my head, I could be wrong, but I think that's when it was. And they did a mermaid sal of this lovely mermaid, and I really like her. And the pattern is just available on Passion Ricamo's website, just as a complete download. Like, obviously now that the sal has been finished for quite some time, and you can just buy her as a mermaid to stitch, and I think she's really pretty. So yes, I've got all the threads for her in that bag, and somewhere in another bag I'm sure I've got the speciality bits for her. Over here, again, just a massive bag of floss, and this is all in separate bags for separate projects. So in here I have got threads for 2 dinosaur patterns that I want to do for my little boy, a couple of travel inspired patterns, my like there's a Minnie Mouse pattern, inspired pattern I've got that I want to do for my daughter, and a couple of other Russian and Ukrainian design patterns, and all my threads for those are in that bag. And we're really getting to the end of this pile now, like, 'cause there's a lot of bulky stuff in here. This is a bag of loads of special bits, and also my Mother of the Bride Pussy Willow pattern. Is it Mother of the Bride? Yeah. So I've got my Mother of the Bride Pussy Willow pattern in there, but I've also got another pattern that is hiding behind all these things, and that is what the supplies are for. It's kitting for a different pattern. You may be able to see her there, and if you're a fan, you'll know who she is, but I'm not going to say who she is because I will be stitching her as a gift for somebody that may be watching, so I'm not going to say too much about her. And then in this bag, I've got quite a few embellishment packs for different Nora designs. So I've got the Queen Bee embellishment pack. And then I've also got in the back of there a few loose beads that I ordered alongside from Arts and Designs. And I'm honestly not sure what the loose beads are for. I guess I will find out, like, as I kit up my mirrors and stuff to stitch them. I'm sure I will come across something that requires these pink and purple beads that I've already got in the back there. And I've also got the embellishment kit for Ava on her broomstick, or Eva, and for the Willow Queen as well. So that is all of that. I have a random, let's pull these a little bit closer to me. A random fabric assortment here, which we will just fly through, not necessarily individually. I'm not going to unfold them all. Some of them are labelled, some are not. So I've got a quite large piece of 27 count cream Linda here. I've got some opalescent 14 count, which is like a pale pink and sparkly, although I don't know if you'll see the sparkles because they don't show up very well on this camera. Just got more neutrals. I just fly through these. You don't need to know the counts for all of them. But like I said, I have got some of them labelled, but I've just got some nice neutral fabrics. More neutrals in here, which are like offcuts from Pole Stitchers, like pinks and neutrals. I got those at the retreat, I think, back in April. Some like duck egg blue flecked 14 count. More neutrals. This is a massive piece. Like, I do not know exactly what count this is or what I'm going to stitch on it, but it's absolutely huge. That's only like a quarter of its size and it is absolutely massive. I have no idea what I'm going to do with that. I've got some of the kind of rustico that I stitched my Tiny Modernist summer signs on, because I like this for beach inspired patterns. I think it works well for that. I think that is just the offcut that I have from stitching my beach pattern. I've got a few bits of my, oh, this one needs an iron. I've got a few bits of my printed ones here from my own website. I always like to have a piece of each design like in my own stash. So I love this one. This is my Dragon's Breath one. And I don't know what I'm going to stitch on this yet, but I do have a dragon pattern, a watercolour dragon, and he is like this sort of shape, long and skinny and landscape. So I think that I might do him on that. I've got my sparkly creationist one here, which is also a pretty one. I've got my Sakura Sunrise here, which I absolutely love, and I'm planning on doing something on this, probably one of like the Mirabilia ladies. I might do one of the geishas on this, because she has like 2 geisha inspired ladies, and I think they would look lovely on that background with like the blossoms. So yes, I won't do it on that piece because it's not big enough, but I will do that at some point. Just got another bit of creationist there as an offcut. Now, this is a really nice like graduated piece. So it's got like green, then pink, then blue cloud, and this is from my shop, although I can't remember what it's called. But I've cut this, I know I cut this and stole it from the shop stash for a specific Mirabilia, and I can't remember which one. So yes, that will have a lady on it of some description. I've got my cozy knit fabric here, again from my shop. I've got a bunch of just plain fabrics here, all cut in the same size slices, and these are just all like plain colours pretty much. So I've got greys and pinks and peaches and cream and more cream, ivory, a blue. It's not a navy, quite an interesting colour of blue, kind of like a denim blue a little bit. One piece of black. Oh, and then under there I've got green, I've got red, and then I've got a cream with gold sparkles, and behind that I've got like a white with silver sparkles. And these are all 14 count, and these slices are a very good size for doing things like Emma Congdon's. Like a lot of the portrait style pieces by Emma Congdon will fit nicely on these. In fact, the green one, I was going to see if the green slice is, I don't think it's dark enough. See, I was hoping that that green slice might be dark enough to lend itself to the pattern from her Cross Stitch for the Earth book that has the like the pine forest, like you're looking through the trees. But it's a pattern that uses the green background as like negative space to create the picture, and I think it's just a bit too light. Still in search of a dark green fabric. I might have to dye some to do that pattern. I've just got like more neutral here. Oh, I've got these like massive 6 count Adas here. And I will not be stitching on these, but I thought that they might be useful for my little girl to have a play with at some point, because she's getting more and more interested in my stitching. So they are for her, just in case. Got some pale blue here. Neutral, just white, brown, and got some nice even weave here. This is Overcast Sky even weave, again from my shop, and I love this one. It's really nice. I don't know what I'm going to stitch on that, but I've pinched a piece because it's one of my favourites. Got some 14 count like very bright blue here. Some dotted dandelion fabric. I'm not going to unfold that because it's quite a big piece, but again, another print from my shop. I like to have a bit of all my own prints. Oh, I've got some blue here, which is actually like fairly dark, but it's showing up a lot brighter on that camera than it is. Oh, I've got a little offcut here from like the hand paint that I did. Like I did some like painting with my dyes to get this like paintbrush effect, and for one of my current whips, that it's my mystery whip that I've only just started, so you won't be seeing a lot of it, but I did this fabric for that. And yeah, I've just got this long skinny offcut, but it's still like a good 5 inches wide, so I can definitely use that for some smalls, maybe like halve it. And that, yeah, I think that's 16 count. I will be able to fit something on there. And then lastly, on the fabric front, I'm not going to take it out, but I've got some lovely 32 count even weave in here that's kind of all pink and yellow, and this is called Fairy Dance, and this will be going on my website, but I've just not got around to putting it on there yet. So yeah, 32 count Fairy Dance, and that is going to be for one of my Mirabilia ladies, a specific one that is the gift stitch that I'm doing, so I'm not going to mention which. And then these last 3 bits of fabric, so I've thrown these in my box from my recent hand dyeing. So yeah, I liked this one, so I grabbed a piece of that for myself, and I'm going to do something Halloweeny on that. Again, I liked this one, so I'm going to do something Halloween on this. This is even weave. I think it's 28 count, this one. But yeah, just like grey and moody, and that will look nice with something Halloweeny or witchy on there. All of that box emptied, other than a big stack of magazines, which I'm not sure if I should go through them all, because they are just magazines. We'll show you them really quickly, but I'm definitely not going inside these because that'll just take forever. So I've basically got a bunch of the World of Cross Stitching magazines in here. These ones, I'm not even going to take them all out, but recently the World of Cross Stitching has switched to like paper instead of plastic for posting out their subscription copies to subscribers. And because they come with the free gift like loose inside the paper, I've just been keeping them in. So these are just like the most recent issues really of cross stitching, World of Cross Stitching, just inside their paper packages. And then I've got loads of older magazines in here. Let's just look at them really quick. So literally, I've got Cross Stitch Crazy magazines, World of Cross Stitching magazines, just loads of magazines. Oh, this one's not that old, I think that's from last year. And I think the Violet Stitcher, Anita, and Blushing Pink Stitchers are doing this dragon, or they've just started this dragon as a sale, because I watched both of their most recent Flosstubes. I think they both mentioned that they're both stitching this dragon, and they've only just started. So if you like this dragon pattern, you can find it in issue 308, July 2021, and they are doing a stitch along that you might like to join in. Again, just more magazines. Lots of magazines. I feel silly just showing you a bunch of magazines because it's not really that interesting. We'll just skip past these to see if there is anything else at all underneath. Oh, there is. There is something more exciting underneath for us to finish with. But yeah, you get the idea. Just a big stack, like a big bag, carrier bag full of magazines. And then underneath it, to finish off, I've just found some more kits. So let's have a quick look at those. That is a little gift from one of those magazines. But then underneath, we've got some bothy kits, or a bothy kit. So I've got the 2 guinea pigs eating lettuce together. It's just called Lettuce Be Friends, I think. And it's very cute. So that is a bothy kit. I've got here watermelon tourmaline pattern, which was gifted to me in my like secret mystery box at the No Bam retreat in April. That was one of the gifts in my box. That's Caroline Manning pattern. I've got my Newton's Law little bear here with all his birds. Got a cushion kit here. I'm not sure where that's from, but that's very cute. It's very pretty. The only thing about this is that the cushion in it is already a cushion. So you've got to like try and stitch on it. I'm pretty sure from when I looked at it, like, yeah, the cushion is already made. So you're going to be trying to stitch on it with the backing fabric. I'll show you. Like, look at that. It's already a case. Oh, some thread on there, but it's already a case with the zip in. So you're going to have to like go inside it to stitch. And I just don't know if I'm up for that. It seems like a lot of annoyance and effort, so I may just, I don't know, I may cut the back panel away. Probably I may just like cut the back panel away and then try and like reattach it afterwards. I'm not sure, but just trying to stitch on it like that seems like it might be a pain. Put that back in its case later. There's more magazines here which I'm just gonna throw to one side. I'll just see if there's any more nice stuff to show you. Oh yeah, so we've got a few more kits here. So I've got my Chicken from the Historical Sampler Company. I have got another Historical Sampler Company one here. Oh, a man is like a deck of cards thing. I've got it a bit messed up. See if I can just grab there we go. This one. A man is like a deck of cards. You need a heart to love him, a diamond to marry him, a club to hit him with, and a spade to bury him. I love it. That is my sense of humour. I like that one. When I do that one, it'll be a really quick stitch. In fact, I might keep that one out when I pack all of this away and try and squeeze it in at some point soon. I've got my Historical Sampler Company sheep. I have got, so I'm just trying to grab these a few at a time. My last ones, because the rest in there is magazines. So I've got my Woodland Chorus by Molly Brett. Don't like the kit is by DMC, but the designer is Molly Brett, I think, and I love this. Absolutely love it. I do believe that this is now discontinued, but I just think it's such a sweet design that when I realised it was discontinued, I went and bought it quickly before it disappeared. Got my Letty Stitch Dreamcatcher here, which I absolutely love. I think it is beautiful. And my last kit to show you is the Bothy Cut Through North Pole House. So that is this one here. Oh, that is all my cross stitching stuff, but I did just find something else random in this box. I may as well show you since it's here. So I bought this panel, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show you the whole thing. I will try. So my daughter is obsessed with unicorns, as you may know from what I've previously said to you. I talk about it quite a lot, but I bought this panel, and I can't show you the whole thing because it's huge, so I'll have to scroll it upwards. But I absolutely think she will love this, and it was just like a giant material panel with all this writing on it, and obviously the massive unicorn. And I just thought it was amazing. It's basically like a huge quilt panel, really, although I don't have any experience in quilting, but I absolutely love it. What does it say? It says, life lessons you can learn from a unicorn. And then it's just got all the unicorn life lessons on there. And I spotted this online and just thought it was absolutely lovely. And I bought it along with this unicorn fabric, which is quite a big piece. And I wanted to basically put these together so that is the backing fabric, and it's got this on the front, and like put some quilt batting in between it. Yeah, I just wanted to make it into like a a blanket or a wall hanging or something. I think like maybe a wall hanging quilt thing, so not like a big cozy quilt, but I was just thinking that basically I could put the two materials together, one on the back, the panel on the front, something in the middle to like pad it out, and then maybe like hang it on a pole or something. She can have it in her room. I've not worked out the details in my head yet, to be honest, but when I saw it I just knew I had to buy it for her, and I'm definitely going to have a look online, I think, get searching YouTube for some inspiration on how I can actually do it, because like I said, I have no experience with quilting or anything like that really. Yeah, like it would be quite a giant wall hanging, but I would like to get that done sooner rather than later. I want to say that I'm going to do it myself. There's also a possibility that I might just give it to one of my really nice friends who lives very locally. Lovely lady that helps do the whip bags for my website. Like we do that as a joint venture, and she is very good. She's very good. So I might get her to do this for me, just in the interest of getting it done before Daisy grows out of her unicorn phase. But yeah, I just thought that was lovely. I had planned to pack away as I was going. That's not happened. So I'm just here surrounded by chaos on the floor. Just a very quick bit of life update while I am here. It is the 7th of September today, Wednesday, and it is Daisy's first day at school. So she was so excited this morning. We're getting her ready. Like she had a little bath this morning because she wanted to like rewash her hair in the morning. So we did that. She got dressed. She looked so cute in her uniform. I didn't cry like I thought I would cry, but you know, I was like a little bit emotional and like a bit tearful, but the actual falling tears did not come. I was just really happy. I was really happy and excited for her, because she's been so excited about starting school that, yeah, I was just like more happy than anything else, like happy for her and just hopeful that she's going to make some lovely little friends and that she's going to have a great time. But dropped her off at 9 a.m. this morning and we all went as a family together, which was lovely. There's two of her little friends from her old nursery who are also at the same school, so there's 3 of them that know each other, which is quite nice. And yeah, so it's a bit of a strange day for me today because it's a Wednesday. I usually have both kids home on a Wednesday and I'm taking them, ferrying them around from here to there, trying to keep them entertained. And yeah, this is the first day of our new routine going forward, that she is going to be in school 5 days a week. It is just going to be me and her little brother at home for 3 weekdays. Then he has 1 weekday at nursery and 1 day today on Wednesdays. From now going forward, that will be his 1 day at grandma's, because he used to go to grandma's on a Thursday afternoon from about 11 o'clock, and then he would stay there until like 5:30 when I picked up Daisy from nursery, and I'd collect them both at that time. But obviously the school day finishes a lot earlier than the nursery day, so I've arranged with grandma and granddad instead that going forward, Adam's parents will have him from when Daisy goes to school to when I collect her from school, so that they're gone for the same amount of time. So yeah, my new days child-free are going to be Tuesdays and Wednesdays, so I get 2 consecutive days back to back to try and do all my stuff, but also to try and have a bit of downtime, because you never really get downtime, do you, with 2 little people constantly under your feet and in the house and entertaining them. So that is everything in my Stash Dive Part 2. I hope that you have enjoyed it. There is 1 box left to go through, and I'm hoping that in the last box left to unpack, when I get round to filming Part 3, we will discover my missing Mirabilia patterns, because I was hoping they might be in this box today, and the ones that I'm looking for, they have not turned up in this box. So I'm hoping they're over there. Also, I mentioned, because I've got all the DMC flossers in this box that we found for my Passion Ricamo in the Deep Sal Mermaid. I found the DMCs, well, they're actually CXC that I bought for her, but in the DMC equivalent colour codes. But I found all the regular threads for her in this box, but I have not come across all the speciality threads and beads for her, which I know I've bought. So again, I'm hoping they're going to be in the last box when we unpack that. But yeah, that's everything for today. I do hope that you've enjoyed it. Just looking at all this stash that I've got, it is amazing. Like, it is lovely. It is like a dream to be surrounded by this much stuff and essentially just be able to like shop from my own stash. But I really need to make an effort to do that going forward, and my goal for 2023 is very much to stitch from stash. I did sign up, as it were, and decide to do the Stitch from Stash challenge for 2022. There is a Facebook group. It is a proper thing. There are rules to follow. So you basically set yourself a budget between like £5 and £25, and you're not allowed to set a budget more than £25 a month. And that is what you're allowed to spend on cross-stitching stuff. And the idea is not to spend that monthly budget on just buying things to add to your stash that you don't need. It's kind of a reserve fund to dip into if you need, you're kitting up something that you've got the majority of stuff for, and then you realise you're a few threads missing or some beads missing, or for another pattern, you've got all your threads, you've got your pattern, but you've not got a piece of fabric that's the right size. So yeah, it's like an emergency fund to buy things to help you use up your stash, if that makes sense, where you've got something that's almost ready to stitch and you just need a few bits to be able to do that design. That is the idea of setting that monthly budget, and the monthly budget accrues. So I set myself a really ambitious £5 a month budget at the beginning of 2022, and I was like, right, I'll have a £5 a month budget, and obviously that will just accrue if I'm not using it. So that'll be for flossers, like I said, or things that I need to stitch stuff that I've already got. And then you also get extra budget as a reward when you've done, like when you've finished stuff. So basically, like in the Facebook group, there is a document that tells you how to calculate that. And yeah, it's just based off like the size. And then if you're stitching with speciality threads or beads or fancy fabrics and stuff, you can add an extra 10%, and basically you get a reward for each finish you have that might be anything between £2 and £20, or if you're doing like full coverage, I think there's like a standard reward for each page that you finish of your full coverage. It might be like £15 or something like that. So yeah, the idea is that you're earning your spends by finishing stuff, and once you've finished stuff you can add a bit more money to your spending budget. But yeah, I started in January with good intentions when I signed up for it, and it just didn't happen. So after my first couple of Flosstube episodes of 2022, I just stopped mentioning Stitch from Stash because I have failed miserably at doing it for this year. So there was no point talking about it. But that being said, I am going to do Stitch from Stash again in 2023, but this year I am hoping to succeed at it, and there is no reason why I shouldn't succeed, because we've done part 1, part 2. I've still got one chest of stash left to show you, and there is just no reason really for me needing to buy anything next year. There really isn't. So if I give myself thinking I might up the budget to like £10 a month instead of the £5 that I did tried to do this year. I might do £10 a month plus rewarding myself for finishes, and that will be the grand total of everything I can spend next year on stitching. And I'm really going to try and stick to it, because these boxes need to start to slowly empty, and I would like to get it to a point where where most of my stuff is fitting back in these drawers, especially kits. I would like to get through all my kits, because I have a lot of patterns that are stored as PDFs. I said obviously they don't take up that much room, but the kits take up a lot of room, and I've got too many. So I really do need to just try and work my way through them as best I can. Yeah, that was part 2 done. Hopefully not been quite as long as part 1, although I do feel like I've been filming for a while now. I will see you all for my normal Flosstube in the middle of September, and then for part 3 as and when I have time. Take care everyone, happy stitching, and I will see you soon. Bye!